Chelsea 4, Juventus 0. The biggest defeat in the group stages of the Champions League for Juve. That's 31 clean sheets out of 50 for Thomas Tuchel. The defending European champions absolutely rampant. The attack absolutely on fire. The academy players absolutely purring right now. Thomas Tuchel's men are simply the best team in Europe right now. They are top of the hardest and best quality league as it stands. They are current European champions, and they look practically unstoppable. And they're getting better and better, and they've still got £100 million Lukaku to return. The academy stole the show tonight. They were cooking. They were cooking up an absolute treat at Stamford Bridge. Reece James, for me, the absolute pick of the bunch. One of the best young defenders in world football. And over the past 7 to 9 months, how he has developed his attacking game is sensational. Not just scoring his 5th goal of the season and putting another barnstorming performance. That pass at the end of the match to create the final goal. People talk about his technique not being on par with the Cancelos of this world. Reece James, as a footballer, as a technician, when it comes to his ability, is one of the best young players in European football. He is defensively sound, can play right centre-back, right back, and wing-back. He is absolutely sensational. Loftus-Cheek, brilliant today. And Callum Hudson-Odoi. I need to shout out Callum Hudson-Odoi. I was so desperate to see this young man play continuously. 7 starts on the bounce across all competitions. He's adding goals. He's adding performances. He's adding the outputs to his game now that all top talents need. And as soon as those outputs land, as soon as they arrive, you almost become you are undroppable. And Callum Hudson-Odoi, for me, he's taken Mason Mount's place when it comes to being that sort of number 10 attacking midfield role, either on the left or the right-hand side of whoever's playing in the number 9 or the false 9 position for Chelsea. Callum Hudson-Odoi is clear right now. He is absolutely clear. He has more ability than anybody else in their squad in that position. He's got speed, which is an added bonus, and the outputs are now coming and being delivered. It's sensational to see. And look, Juve may not be having the greatest season in the history of their club, but they have European pedigree. They beat Chelsea only a few weeks ago. But as a rival fan, I hate seeing it, but what I admire about Thomas Tuchel, his ability to adapt, his ability to learn from his mistakes quickly is arguably his best attribute. A lot of people have tried to slander Chelsea over the course of the past few weeks. 7 defenders, boring football. They park the bus, they don't attack. This has purely been a technique to try and discredit the quality of play that we are seeing, discredit the fact that they are the best team in England. In fact, they're the best team in Europe right now. There's lots of other very good teams. Bayern Munich are excellent. City, Liverpool, brilliant. Chelsea, as it stands right now, over the past 12 months, in the calendar year as it stands, there is not a better team in Europe. And the attack is getting better. Defensively so sound. And I'll repeat that stat from earlier. 31 clean sheets in 50 games and only 24 goals conceded. No manager in a history of English football has conceded less goals and had more clean sheets in their first 50 games in charge of a new club or their first 50 games in England, whatever it may be. It's beyond a joke how good they are. And you can be salty, you can attack them, you can try and discredit what Chelsea are doing. All that's going to do is cause you pain. Cognitive dissonance kicking in each and every single. Just accept their brilliance and enjoy it. Enjoy watching the most balanced football in the Premier League and in Europe right now. It's brilliant. We've got some super chats here. Todd Miller says, but Chelsea are boring. Up the Chelsea. Yeah, anyone who says Chelsea are boring is mad. Reece James, best right back in the world on current form is what Kyan's got to say there. Young says, Reece James looks like a captain in the making. He's got such technique and he's scoring goals and he's added these goals to his game now. And listen, if he keeps doing what he's one of the sort of most informed goal scorers in English football right now. It's sensational. Hamid says we might be witnessing a tactical revolution with Tuchel's 3-4-3 system. I've seen the light. Chelsea are better than Bayern Munich, maybe even us. I think Hamid is a Liverpool fan, if I remember correctly. I look at it this way. You have to judge things as what they are. Right now, the depth of quality in the Premier League, I think, is the most superior in Europe. We've dominated the European competitions as a nation in recent years, having lots of teams get to semis and finals within both European competitions. I think the depth we have is stronger, and Chelsea are currently the top of that pile. Over the past 12 months, they've been the best team and the European champions. Someone's got to work out a way of beating them. They barely concede goals. When you don't concede goals, what I saw from Juve tonight was them snatching at opportunities because they know they're not going to get very many. It's just brilliant to see. Can Chelsea win a quad this season? That is an interesting question. A quad is so hard. Remember, there's only ever been one treble done ever, or the only once has a team done the treble in over 130 years of English football. Only two teams have done a variation of a European domestic treble. Of course, Liverpool did it in 1984 with the League Cup, not FA Cup. And a domestic treble has been done, I think, once by Man City. Maybe Liverpool did it in the 70s or 80s. I'm not too sure, but I know they've done it once. A quad, listen, it should be something Chelsea are chasing. Do you know why? You win a quad and you become one of the most legendary teams and one of the most legendary clubs in the history of English football. In fact, your name is etched into the history and the fabric of this game for the next 100, 200, in fact, for eternity. Winning the quad is the ultimate achievement. It's better than the treble. It's better than Invincibles. It's better than doubles. It's better than back-to-back Premier Leagues even. It's something nobody else has ever done. Can Chelsea do it? Yes, they can do it. It is conceivable that this Chelsea team do it. It's bloody hard, but it's conceivable. And the one thing you have, which I just don't remember feeling when I looked at the Centurions, the treble winners, Man United's Premier League and Champions League winners in 2008. And I use those both United teams as a yardstick here because they're the only teams in the history of the Prem to win a Premier League title and Champions League at the same time. And only Liverpool, the other club, to win a Prem and Champions League at the same time. It's the level of goals Chelsea don't concede. The Centurions, Liverpool's best across all comps in a calendar year. 31 clean sheets from 50, 24 conceded. It's sensational. It really, really is. I will admit, as a United fan, their academy is the best, is what Joshua Jack's got to say. I enjoy watching Liverpool in their pomp in 2009. Look, Liverpool were brilliant. Liverpool absolutely brilliant then. I'm not taking away from them at all. It's scary. The system is stronger than individuals. And that's what I think is so potent about this Thomas Tuchel side. You've hit the nail on the head there. It is stronger than any individual within their team. And what you're now seeing, you're seeing a more talented, Callum Hudson-Odoi is more talented than Mason Mount, in my opinion. And now he's getting the game time. You're seeing a superior talent in an exemplary system rise to the top. It's why Reece James is starting to deliver. He's finding his feet at this level of football, but he is one of the best defenders, one of the best attacking fullbacks in the world. He is arguably the most balanced in terms of whatever you need him to do, he can do to a very high degree. Trent, in my opinion, is still a better attacker, but Reece James has that balance in absolute abundance. Absolute abundance. And look, he's at this level now. If he wants to surpass the likes of Trent in the debate with some people, you'll already say he's surpassed him. But if he wants to surpass Trent in that debate, he just needs to start maintaining these levels 2-3 years on the bounce, and then he really goes into that equation. On current form, I don't think anybody is better than him. I really, really don't. The talent is there. That balance is going to be key for him as well. It's just sensational to watch. It truly is. We're going to open up the lines for you to come on and have your say. I've just shared the link now in the live comment section, so you can give us a buzz. You can come onto the terrace now. It's amazing that over 2,200 of you are watching tonight, but I need you all to hit that like button right about now. Retweet if you're watching on Twitter and hit the like button there, and follow us on our Twitch account. It's good to see so many of you here. Mo says, Terry, relax. Why? I'm not good. This is a brilliant football team. There's nothing I've said tonight, in my opinion, that can be debunked. There isn't a better team right now. Everything I've said about their individual players, I think, is right. But listen, Chelsea have got to maintain this. If Chelsea fade away between now and the end of the season and don't win anything, this is all for nothing. To a degree, they've got a European Championship within that, but the Champions League within that. They have to maintain this. And, you know, your first third of the season form is great. You need to maintain it. But is anybody betting against them? Like, really, in your heart of hearts, does anybody, any rival watching, do you honestly see this falling apart? Do you honestly see this coming to an end anytime soon? Personally, it feels like it's getting better and better and better and better and better. And if I take my Man United, look, some of you might be new watching the show tonight. Yes, I'm a Man United fan. This is the Football Terrace. We cover all of the top 6 in the Prem. I want to say this. It's making the Premier League even better than it's already been, because we have 3 sensational teams and then this chasing pack behind them. And who knows what the likes of Conte and Man United's new manager might be able to yield. I've got some more super chats. Then I'm going to go to your calls. Lots of you waiting backstage. I want to hear from all of you. We can also win the World Club Championships and another Super Cup. So 6. I mean, yeah, can you imagine if they win all 6? Listen, it's a long way to go, but who knows? Who knows? What a fantastic coach Tuchel is. The buck stops with the manager. The only club that truly understands that phrase is what SS has got to say. Big up to Chalobah. He's coming along nicely. Also, I've never seen a defender as calm on the ball as Silva. Honestly, it's too easy for him. Yeah, I think Silva, Silva for me has always been a great defender. It's great to watch him in the Premier League, though, because, he spent a lot of time at Paris Saint-Germain. And I'm going to be blunt. That league is substandard. It's legitimately a substandard league. It ain't quite there with everything else. And he's come to the Prem in his twilight. What's he, 38? This guy can play for another 2. This is a Ryan Giggs. This is a Maldini. This is a Teddy Sheringham. This is a man who is Benjamin Button level football, as in age-wise, right? It's like he gets younger as he gets older. To be able to move like he's moving at his age isn't just because he's this exemplary defender. The physical element of him, the physical specimen of him is just spellbinding. It really is. Thank you very much here to Abdul for becoming an official Academy member of the Football Terrace tonight. You can all join and be members from as little as 99 pence per month. So thank you very much for doing that. Slap a like on the stream, or thank you very much. Also, Reece James, best overall left back in the league. And just so you all know, in case you don't know, Alan, who just said that, one of our members, is a Tottenham fan saying that. A Tottenham fan saying it. Reece James hit them with that Jordan shrug. Yeah, absolutely. Is the phrase hitting a last-minute winner? No, the Football Terrace secret phrase is not hitting a last-minute winner. Remember, if we hit 1,000 likes, I will give you another clue for the Football Terrace secret phrase that you can super chat in and try and win. We're giving away lots of great prizes on that one. But I want to start going to some calls now. I want to get you on the air to have your say. I want to know what you're thinking and feeling. We've got Zion backstage, Chris, Tom, Ed, Hamed, Mohammed. We're going to go to Man Like Abs. I haven't spoke to Abs in a while, but Abs is going to be on the show next to have his say with us. Make sure like buttons are being hit, people. Let's do this. Abs is here. What's on your mind, mate? What do you want to say?
All right, that was quality from start to finish. That was a proper cooking right there. Like, everyone was superb, everyone from back to front, Reece James was immense. Trevor Chalobah, Thiago Silva, what's his name? I think that was his name. I think Jorginho was quite good in terms of keeping the ball together and all that. And at the time, I didn't get why Kante was coming off, but I figured out it was partly because we needed to rest him for, the Man United game. But I told all the Chelsea fans, you see Juventus, they may be a good team, but when we lost to them in Turin, it wasn't a case of them playing well. We lost that game for ourselves. and we showed it today. They're just not. I mean, we were good, but they weren't amazing either. They didn't really do themselves many favors. So it's not to discredit us because I thought we were out of this world, but yeah, it was just quality. And yeah, it is where it is. We move. We live to fight another day. Everyone seems to be on job. I'm not sure how Lukaku comes back into this team, but I think part of the reason is that when Lukaku was playing, it was Alonso and Aspi playing at wing back, and we were playing Ziyech and Havertz. And when you play them two, we were striker, you don't really get too much creativity out of them. But since Chilwell and James are coming, by the way, get will soon bench Chilwell as well because that looked like a bit of a bad injury. But since they've come in, I think that's probably why we've become a bit more. We've looked a lot better going forward, and also not to mention Callum Hudson-Odoi. People really tried writing this guy off. He's been mustard since he's come into the team. And hopefully we see him start against United and get a good run of games because he's been on fire. Arguably our best player on form right now.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many of your players that are in scintillating form. It's crazy to see. In terms of Reece James, I want to ask you about the right back thing. Everyone's speaking about it. Is he, in your opinion, the most informed or the best right back around right now? Or do you still think he's got a way to go to push himself in front of Trent Alexander-Arnold?
Well, it doesn't help that he's been playing as a midfielder because that's what Tuchel's been calling him and Chilwell recently. But now, if we're being serious, his form recently has been quite good. Arguably been better, but it's just, I don't know, maybe it's hard because they're both.
Come on, get off the fence. What do you think?
It's hard though.
No, it's not hard. It's not hard. You've got an opinion. We want to hear it. Who do you think the best is right now? Come on, brother.
Because I think Trent's been doing a bit better, to be honest. I can't lie. Even though I love Reece, I think Trent's just been slightly a little bit better. So especially that game against West Ham, he was cold. But that's about it.
And that's fair, bruv. And that's fair. That's your opinion. And people will respect it. Abs, great call, my friend. Thanks for coming on and having your say, brother. Really appreciate it. Thank you. David will be on with really soon. Rose says, Thiago Silva is the best defender in the league. He never dies a back pass. Passes to winners in the attack. Watch his game. He is elite. Cam here says this was fire too real, is what Cam's got to say. Next on the show with me, Zion's here to have you say. What you saying, Zion?
You're right, Terry.
I'm very well. Give me your thoughts on that performance, that absolute smashing of Juve tonight.
Man, that was, to be honest with you, I was expecting this type of performance because after that performance we had against Leicester over the weekend, because I wanted the same mindset, let's be real. I mean, what I always said about Chelsea and what I've said about, this club is that we've never had the consistency. Can we, as a run of games, can we continue, the performance? And it just showed that, yeah, we can. Now, let's be real. This game for me wasn't that important. I mean, as for qualification, yeah, get a point, get the job done, that's it. My main game important is the game against United on the weekend. Because let's be real, the league title is what I want for my club, let's be real. We won the Champions League, okay, we can get far in the Champions League, there's no doubt about that. But it's the league title that I've been, looking at for a while. And, Chelsea, this win is all great. But if we, say, drop points against United over the weekend, say if we lose, that's nothing. So brilliant performance from everyone. Let's be real. I think Ziyech worked his socks off today. Let's be real. All the passes he made was brilliant. I mean, Reece James. The other caller was saying he was having a debate about who's better, Trent or Reece. I'm going to say Reece. He's all over the place. Let's be real. Form-wise, right now, there's no right back right now, in my opinion, in Europe that can match Reece James. He's got the goals. He's got the assists. So let's be real. I mean, as much as Trent's a phenomenal player, let's be real. There's no doubt in his ability. But Reece James, on form right now, he's better. And I think he can go further than Trent. And I'm not, joking around, because he's got that potential. You've seen him just in tonight's game. You've seen him like in multiple games this season. He can go far, as a talent. So very impressive. I mean, that last pass, near the end of the game, you don't see Cancelo make them type of passes. I mean, Trent is probably the only one you can probably see make that type of pass. So I still think Reece James, in my opinion, is ahead of Trent.
Listen, that is your opinion, viewers. What do you make of Zion's take on that there? Listen, my friend, great call. Thanks for coming on and having your say. Really appreciate it, mate. Thank you. Everyone's got a different view. I also want to know who stays out this team for Hudson-Odoi because he can't be dropped. And does Lukaku walk straight back into it? This is not negative. This is a positive for me. If I'm a Chelsea fan, I'm buzzing at the fact that two of your very best players may struggle to get into this team right now. I want your take and I want your views on that. Ro here says, this weekend, 3-0 to Chelsea. I expect even more. United cannot score this weekend. David comes soon, but up next on the show, Chris is here with us. Chris, welcome back to the terrace. What do you want to say?
You know, Jerry, the problem with Tuchel is that his squad is unpredictable. You're not sure of when the next game was going to start on attack. Even if Ziyech and Hudson-Odoi are performing, Werner might still come into play. Lukaku is coming back in. And for today, I think Pulisic did not really play that well. So then in the next game, I don't expect him to be in the squad. But for Hudson-Odoi and Ziyech, it's still going to be tough. You're not sure of who's going to play. Mount is also going to be trying to come into the squad.
Yeah. Listen, I hear you on that, Chris. You're definitely unpredictable in who goes up front. Great call, my friend. Thank you very much for coming on and having your say, top man. We have a comment here that says Reece is clear of Trent, is what Dean Sanders has got to say. Next on the show, I'm going to go to Tyler. Tyler's here with us. He did have his camera on a minute ago. It's gone off again now. Hopefully you can hear us. You there, mate?
Hey, I'm here, man.
There we go. There we go. What do you want to say, buddy?
Man, what a performance by Chelsea today. I feel like for the first 7-8 games of the season, we were all super positive, thinking that they were going to win the league. A lot of people were saying that. I wasn't so sure we were going to win the league. I knew we were going to challenge for the title, but I think now Chelsea is really clicking. Like, they are really clicking, and I think they're going to keep it up for the whole season. The way that Ziyech came back into the midfield and dropped back and set up all the long balls today was one of the best performances I think we've seen by Ziyech all season long. And all of our players, Thiago Silva, Reece James, Trevor Chalobah, Callum Hudson-Odoi. I mean, it's just, it's off the charts for Chelsea right now. And with the depth, with Lukaku still to come in, Werner still to come in, I think Mount would be better replacing Ziyech. You asked the question, how can you take Callum Hudson-Odoi? I don't think you take Callum out. I think you replace Ziyech with Mount.
Ziyech with Mount, and then is it a case of keeping when everybody's fit? Who goes back into that striker role? Would you, Kai? Would he go there, or did Lukaku walk straight back in for you?
I think Lukaku would walk straight back in over Kai Havertz for sure.
Yeah, I mean, again, a lot of people will agree with you on that. I'm sure. I'm going to see it light up in the comment section. Let me know. I'm asking right now: do you feel like Chelsea are the best team in Europe right now? Do you feel like you are the best team?
How can you argue anybody else? Who can you argue that is better than Chelsea? I mean, I understand that Bayern Munich is really, really good. Of course, Manchester City and Liverpool are both purring, but if you look at the league, Chelsea's outdoing them in the league in consistency in performances and outscoring them. And the amount of clean sheets is unbelievable. It's unbelievable under Tuchel. I mean, like, I look at Christensen, Rudiger, Chalobah, all these players for Chelsea. It's like, do we really have that many super great defenders, or was it Tuchel that's really doing this for us? Because yes, they are really great players, but I mean, just systematically, Chelsea is levels above most teams in Europe right now.
Bro, do you know what? I remember the amount of players that the greatest Premier League manager and coach of all time did it with, and that was Fergie. We had players that looked so good at Man United, they would leave and go to other clubs, and they would never, like, they just didn't. From John O'Shea to Wes Brown to Nicky Butt to Phil Neville, they all did well elsewhere. Phil Neville, in fairness to him, did quite well, very well at Everton, to be fair. But it's like they were never as good, and it's because the system at Man United was invariably amazing, and everybody was elevated. So when you're a very good to world-class player in an amazing system, you look out of this world. If you're just a good player and you're surrounded by quality players in a brilliant system, you can be elevated and you can carry a player or two like that. And I think Chelsea just do it brilliantly. When you've had the likes of Sarr and Chalobah come in, who are talented but raw, look better than
Unbelievable.
they look better than some of the 80 million pound defenders in the league. You know, I'm looking at my
there's
own
no
club when I
doubt.
say that. Yeah.
There's no doubt. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it like I think if we can start getting our players up front to really get that final pass down and that touch in the box down, there's not a single team in Europe that's better than Chelsea in any part of the field, if you ask me. The midfield to the defense, like it's unbelievable what Tuchel has done with these players and this team and how consistent it has been now for over 50 games, you know? Like it's unbelievable, especially what he has done in the defense. Because some of those defenders that we have are no names. Like they weren't even being used under Lampard. They were about to be sold.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Listen, Tyler, great call, my friend. Thank you for coming back on the terrace and having your say. Really appreciate
Thank you so
that,
much.
buddy.
Have a good day.
No worries at all. Listen, 2,400 of you watching live. Humbling. Make sure the like buttons are being hit. If we hit 1,000 likes, I will look to give you another clue for the Football Terrace secret phrase. Remember, we're giving you away PS5, Ronaldo's boots, a hoodie, and £100 cash. And you've already had 5 clues, I think, now. Hit that 1,000 like mark, and you get another one. David to join me on the panel really, really soon. Some super chats here. Has anyone mentioned how hard Ziyech worked and trapped back? He was immense today, is what D's got to say. I'm sick and tired of these debates. If Bayern, Barca, Real Madrid, and all these other big teams had the chance to sign one of those two, they would all pick Trent. Wow, a Liverpool fan coming out saying that all the other teams would pick Trent over Reece James, is what he's got to say. Look, it's a debate. Do you know what I would say is this? If you believe it's Trent, you believe it's Trent. I think I'm English, so I love the fact that there's so many players that are building up and Reece James has joined that debate. We've got some slightly older heads in the England setup that get opportunities as well. It's really great for me to kind of watch it on the outside. I don't think I get the feeling you think it's disrespectful to Trent for Reece James to be compared to him, but why? Like, I'd love to know why you think it's almost that offensive. I'd love to hear from you on that one and know what you're thinking and feeling. I got a super chat here from a member. Thank you, Peter, here, celebrating 9 months as a first team member. He says, Reece is the best. Get ready to be amazed. Sorry, Trent, is what Peter's got to say. Next on the show, Mo is with me. What you saying, Mo? Mo's a Man United fan. Give me your take.
Yeah, I watched the game today, United's game. First half, it was the same old tactics. It felt like Oli was still in charge. I know he's been sacked, but it felt like he was still in charge. Second half, we improved. A couple of things I took away from the game is that we 100% need new coaches and a new manager as soon as possible. If we can do it next week, then that's fine. But this Carrick and McKenna and Fletcher and the other guy, Mike Phelan, it's not going to work. They should have sacked all of them together. We won the game. That's fine. And we won the game. We qualified for the Champions League. But I think if it's an interim manager, it's an interim manager. We need to get someone new in with fresh ideas.
Totally agree with you on that one, mate. And go on, mate.
One other thing, and this is a cause for concern, but I'm getting the feeling that Aaron Wan-Bissaka is not going to make it at United. He doesn't suit with Sancho. Sancho's very fluent, direct. Sancho doesn't have that chemistry with him. He's very... I don't know what Wan-Bissaka... I don't know what Wan-Bissaka is going to do next. Sancho doesn't understand what he's going to... He's so unpredictable. I don't see... I want to be proved wrong, but the way
I hear you on that, Mo. I hear you, bro. And I think when you watch someone like Reece James tonight, I think you literally see the difference in technical ability between the likes of Reece James and Trent. And I mean, I'd love for AWB to be in that debate. Mo, thanks for calling in and having your say. Really appreciate that, brother. Thank you very, very much. Really appreciate it, my guy. Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers, mate. Thank you. Next on the show, CFC Ed is here with us. Ed, what you saying, buddy?
Yo, I tell you, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very, very well. Give me a take. What do you want to say?
Yeah, superb tonight. Every player, superb. Ziyech surprised me because he's been pretty poor for us the past 18 months. But today, he could have scored. I think his performance deserved a goal and created so many chances, and his work rate was, like that super chat previous said, it was immense. Also, I think we're starting to hit form at the right time because first 3 months of the season, don't get me wrong, I think we were good, but I
Can you do
think
me a
we could
favor,
go
Ed?
up a
Ed, we're
level.
getting like a. It's gone now. No, maybe it is. They're getting like a weird alarm sound. It's like a beeping noise in the background. It's very strange.
Oh, right. Okay.
It's literally when you talk or when I talk, it comes out. It's very weird. Try calling this back. Yeah, it's just very strange. It's like playing like feedback on the air. But yeah, try calling this back. I'm very sorry, Ed. Very,
Yeah,
very
right.
sorry, mate. Sorry, buddy. I appreciate you calling in. It just I don't know where that was coming from. Someone said it sounds like a time bomb. A little bit. A little bit. David's going to join us soon, along with Connor and the football fan zone. We'll get them all a little 4-man panel. Ben coming on from there. I'll do a few more calls first. I'm going to get Mohammed on. Mohammed's a Liverpool fan. I know what he's coming here to back Trent, isn't he? What are you saying, Mohammed?
Yeah, of course. Trent is clear of James. Obviously, James is a good player as well, but I just think Trent is ahead of him at the moment. Just James, he just needs probably 2 or 3 seasons to prove he can do it at Trent's level. But Trent for me all day long. But I just want to touch upon the Chelsea game. I think Chelsea look like the best team in Europe at the moment, and the world obviously. And I don't really see it falling apart for them anytime soon. But however, I think there might be a difficult period in January, February time, which most teams have around about that time period. So we're gonna have to wait and see. Yeah.
Absolutely, we will. Mohammed, though, great call. Thanks for coming on, mate. Really appreciate it, buddy. Top man. Thank you. Going to be bringing that panel out very, very soon for you all. We're almost on 1,000 likes as well. We're going to get CFCRS on the show now to come on and have a little chat with us. What you saying, buddy?
Yo, you good?
I'm very, very well. What's on your mind, my friend?
I just wanted to say that James is 100% the best right back in the world right now. He's better than Trent Alexander-Arnold. It's not even, well, it is close, but he's 100% better than him. He's fast, strong, can cross, arguably as good as Trent, can defend as well, can pass, a bully to defenders and in the opposition area. Like, he's a complete fullback, and in a couple years' time, he's going to be recognized as probably one of the best defenders in the Prem when he carries on like this, because he's fantastic. And Thiago Silva right now is the best centre back in the league as well. And what else? Trevor Chalobah. Why is he not in the England team? He's been performing better than Maguire. He's better than Maguire. So I don't know why he's not in the England team. So
You think
just had to
Chalobah's better than Harry Maguire? Legit?
Yes, he's better than Maguire. Based on form, he's 100% better than Maguire. He's composed. He never. He always knows what to do before he has the ball. His reading of the game is perfect as well. He doesn't make rash decisions like Maguire as well. I've never seen Chalobah get caught on the ball. I haven't seen him. He's fantastic. He's better than Maguire. He should be in the England team. And yeah, what else? I think we're the best team in the world right now. I can't wait for Man United on Sunday. We're gonna absolutely smoke you, man. Like it's peak. It's peak.
Listen, I'm loving that confidence from you there, my friend. Listen, great call. Thanks for coming on and having your say. It's very, look at that, best defender, best right back, smashing Man United. Chalobah better than Harry Maguire. Lots and lots and lots of big claims in there. What would you rather? Someone who can defend and attack, or just like Trent, who can do both? Where Reece James can, is what Nav's got to say. What else are people saying in the chat section here? Let's have a little look. I've got to keep scrolling here. So many comments. Here we go. Trent gets found out against top teams. 0 defense is what SS thinks. When a Liverpool fan can bring us stats, defensive highlights, I'll bring his top I'll believe he's the top right back for England. Interesting. I was looking at some of the stats here. This season, passing accuracy, Trent Alexander-Arnold, 82%. Reece James, 85%. Long ball pass accuracy, 55% Trent, 60% Reece James. Crossing accuracy, 29% to Trent Alexander-Arnold, 26% for Reece James in relation to that. Goals, we already know that kind of outstrips that in terms of that. If you look at the something else I'm looking at as well when it comes to passing, chances created this year, Trent strips him on that, 34-17. But it's not hugely different. But that's just my take. I want to know what you all think. That ain't my take. That's just the stats. I'm just giving you the stats. I gave you no opinion there. Trent is only elite in attack and needs Henderson to cover him every game. Reece is producing elite numbers in attack without needing all that cover, is what Pulisic's personal doctor's got to say. I'm a Chelsea fan, but the last caller was all cap, is what Nathan's got to say. Why is Chelsea the best team in Europe? To me, between Bayern and Liverpool qualified for the next round with 2 games to spare, and we are in the group of death. Chelsea CFC delusion continues. The reason I'm saying they're the best is I'm basing it on the calendar year, so not just this season. 31 clean sheets in 50 games, only 24 goals conceded, European champions, top of the toughest and best current league in the world. Those are my rationale. That's my reasons. That there is what I would say. Liverpool conceding too many goals to be better than Chelsea right now. Your attack is more entertaining to look at generally, although in the last 4 or 5 games, Chelsea's levels have gone up. Look how many goals they're scoring. Panel coming out very soon, people. When Liverpool fans mumble, you know Reece is the Donny. And Caniel here says Reece is what Scousers think Trent is. A lot of people backing Reece in the chat tonight. Liverpool fans, I knew you'd be here backing your guy as well, though. Hey, just to Chumbe, the Liverpool fan couldn't even beat a 10-man Chelsea at Anfield. What does GT? I don't know what that means. Am I being dumb? GTFOH. I don't know what that means. I'm so old. I've got to Google it. Right, hang on. Well, what does it mean? I'm going to see it and I get it now. Right, what does it mean? What does it mean here? I'll get the... right. I get it now. All right, cool. I'm not going to say it, but cool. Do you know what Google says it means? Google says get the fridge out of here. Or get the fudge out of here as well. But I always see what the fudge is a replacement word. Yes, anyway. Oh, we're good. Thank you. When people start comparing their right back to James, then I'll say he is clear of Trent. Trent is still the benchmark because he's one people compare their right back to. The question is always, is my guy better than Trent? And that's so true. That is so true. What they're saying is, though, that some Chelsea fans are stating that he has reached that benchmark and surpassed it. Nobody is saying Trent's bad. And I think that's where, like, I've been in a lot of spaces recently, and that's how all the arguments are. Twitter is like that. It's either someone's great or they're bad. There's no like, oh, they're both great. My guy's just a smidge better. I think that's what it is, my friend. And thank you very much for that very generous super chat. Mohammed here says, if Trent wasn't a Liverpool player, he would be rated more. If I'm not mistaken, Trent has kept more clean sheets than James if you compare them. Interesting stat. Show me that stat, and I'm not disbelieving you, Mo. Show me. You outclassed at home to City as well. Yes, they were. Liverpool fans are scared of Reece James. They can't make a proper argument. They just say he's better than Reece James, but with no logic attached. Right, it's time for the panel now, people. David, Ben, Chesney, Connor, all coming on now to have their say and keep you entertained. We're well past the 1,000 like mark as well. Over 2,500 of you watching. Make sure you subscribe to The Terrace. It'd be nice if we could hit 2,000 likes. Just all of you hit it. I've always wondered that. Why don't you all just hit it? I never get it. Actually, my brother said to me the other day, he goes, I don't often like your videos, bro. I said, why? He went, I always forget. I'm like, I must say it 30 times a stream. Just get it done. I'm only messing. Panel time, people. Let's go. I missed Ben. There we go. Got him. Got him in the end. I tried to get it done in time. How's it going, gentlemen? All good?
Good.
Yeah, the super chatters are really going at each other tonight, having a right pop at each other. But I want to start off with David. Sensational tonight. Sensational.
Oh, it was great. It's great to watch. Just standard 4-0 against Juve. Standard. Nothing. No surprises there. Their biggest defeat in European history. Lovely to see. We're just really good right now. Tuchel has like the most clean sheets, least conceded goals in his first 50 games than any manager in British history. But it's all just manager bounce. So I'm expecting our downfall at any moment. So it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy, really, when you look at what he's done. It absolutely is, isn't it, Connor? I mean, it was always this feeling when he first came in. People didn't want to get carried away. Even when he won the European Cup, it was, I don't want to get carried away. I want to wait a little bit. I want to see what happens. You must be getting to that point now where you must be looking at it again. We're the best team in England. We're the best team in Europe. You must be in and around that way of thinking by now.
Yeah, no. I think the scariest part is I think that every Chelsea fan can see progression in the team from when we lost to Juve or lost to Man City. I wouldn't say outclassed. Set piece goal is what it is. And to now where people are saying we have this identity of boring football. But if you look at Hakeem, running through the midfield, Loftus-Cheek just making men out of women out there, man, just turning people on a dime. You see him dribbling through the 6-yard box, giving it to, I don't know where this boring football has been, but you can clearly see that we're more well drilled and coming back for loose balls. We're better at playing through the midfield. It seemed like in the beginning, we're like waiting for people to make these rudimentary passes, but now it just seems like the techers are up, the interplay between the midfielders is up. So I think we're concedingly pushing these levels higher and higher. And I personally don't know if we ask the panel right now what our ceiling would truly be. Is it a quad? Is it title contenders? I don't know, because we're plugging in playing players and they're playing well and progressing. So I don't know.
I mean, yeah, quad is, when I say crazy, the quad's just something that's so hard to do, but it's not inconceivable. It's not like it's hard to achieve. And I'm not saying you're going to do it, but you're playing well enough to win every competition you're in. There's no competition you're in that you couldn't win. You've got a deep squad. Look, for me, I would be disappointed if I was a Chelsea fan if you didn't win at least 2 trophies this year. Like, I'm talking the main 4. If you didn't win 2 of them, I'd be disappointed. You're that good. I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn as a Man United fan, but what do you think, Ches? Like, what are your expectations from this point with how you're playing?
Oh, that's a good question. Definitely, I want to win the league. Title contenders, that's all fun and games, but like, we're doing so well that I want to win the league. And if we threw in an FA Cup, I wouldn't be annoyed at that. Like, that's a good season for us, considering that we go off and on winning leagues and stuff. Winning a double, I'll take it. So, and if we got like a quadruple, that's just too hard, in my opinion. I think that's just too hard to get. But as we're seeing, the team's just clicking together. It's gelling together like we said it would. The goals are starting to come. Defensively, we're still solid. So there's not much like things to improve on. I'll just say maybe a little more fluidity up front. That's it, really. But all gold stars for me. I'm happy.
I hear you on that. I want to ask you a question, Ben, about some players here. Lukaku, does he come? How does he get back into the team? Sub appearances, or does he get some? Does he start at the weekend against Man United as an example? Does he get back into your team?
I don't think he gets straight back in against Man United. I think for Chelsea, they're in such a good position. They're scoring goals. Why would you rush him back? There's no. If we were getting 0-0s or scraping 1-0s or even losing games, you can make an argument of getting him back on the pitch as soon as possible. But I just look and think, unless he's 100% fit, why risk him? There's just simply no need. It's not worth the risk. So at the moment, I don't think he gets back in on Sunday.
This whole narrative about if he comes in, it will change the whole playing style. But is Pulisic staying false 9 and Havertz the other day? Were they that good in that position? Could Lukaku do worse than that?
It's not a case of whether he would do worse. It's a case of would he necessarily do better? Would Chelsea necessarily do better if he came straight back into the squad? The way they're playing at the moment. Sorry?
I think we would.
I know it sounds weird, but if you look at like all Kai Havertz, Pulisic, and who didn't have a good game at all, really, in my opinion, even as American stand. But I think the biggest thing is the work rate. Like if you see them pressing, if you see Timo press, if you see Kai press, like falling in deep to pick up a ball out of midfield, like I don't know if we want to take that away from the team. And I feel like there's better games. Like I feel like if anything, Timo would get the start because he comes in, gets minutes, bags a goal. Why would you jeopardize? Why not build his form and give Lukaku a game where we have a plethora of depth to let him start?
That would be my opinion. You've got really good balance in the squad as well. The balance is perfect. And when you say about the work rate, it's desire, isn't it? The desire. How often if Chelsea against Leicester today against Juventus, when they lose the ball, the desire to win it back. Look at Thiago Silva's clearance off the line. That's the desire to keep a clean sheet at any cost. And that's what a manager, a good coach, brings to the table, isn't it? That's what Man United have arguably not had with Solskjaer, is that desire for the players to win at all costs.
How dare you? No, listen. Our season started today, and we are 1-0. We are clean. We start today.
That's what we did. To be fair, that's what we did. Well, get rid of that Lampard. That Lampard bit didn't exist.
Well, it's true to a degree. Once you get a new manager in, everything that came, but as long as you improve, everything that came before gets written off. Like in terms of that manager, it's not down to him, is it? But no, I hear you on that. Like there's him, but there's Hudson-Odoi as well, because this young man has been out of this world in the last 6 to 7 games for me. He's delivering. He's starting to score goals and get assists. Surely he's another player that, barring some rotation, now has to be looked at as a start. I mean, and David, you must be happy because if Lukaku gets back into the team, who is it that misses out? Because Hudson-Odoi's got to stay in. Is it your favourite player, Mason Mount, now that misses out, or will it be Mount and Hudson-Odoi? Like, who do you think? Who do you think will stay in the team?
Be honest.
I think Mason's a great player. He does provide a lot for the team. So I think if he goes in for anyone, he would go in for Ziyech anyway. But Hudson-Odoi's been fantastic. He's been absolutely class. And today, as I was saying on Saturday, all he needs to add is goal contribution, and it was there on the plate for him, and he provided. So he definitely has to start. Who even started him?
But the reason I say Mount again, and I'm not looking into it as deeply as not being a Chelsea fan. Hudson-Odoi has been starting on the left-hand side of the two sort of 10, whatever you call those roles. I call them 10 still, because where they appear on the formation.
Yeah. Inside forwards. Whatever.
Inside forwards then, cool. Yeah. He's starting on the left-hand side of that. My point would be, is Tuchel going to risk moving him to the right-hand side of that and maybe not getting the same level of performance? Because that can happen to players. They go to a different side and they're not as... I think he's been brilliant cutting on that right foot as an example. It's going to be interesting for me to see who stays in the side, and I don't think it's a negative, but
no, it's nice having the option. I think Mason, again, one thing I have to give Tuchel is smart. Like, he's a very smart person. So if Mason's not getting games, those questions will pop up. So I think Mason will just play on the other side, because I think Mason's good on either side personally. I don't think he has a particular weakness. Whereas I think Hudson-Odoi maybe is a bit more like has to stay on this side, other else he kind of goes a little bit messy.
So I think this, right? So for some reason, and I'm as much as I'm a Pulisic fan, Hudson has one of the highest ceiling caps of talent, I think, that on our team in relation to other players. And people, for some reason, want to pigeonhole them. Some people are like, oh, he needs to stay right wing back, or he can only play on the left. I think that he has so much quality, and this leads into the point that I'm going to make, is that I think that no matter how well Hudson-Odoi is on form, or even say if it were Mason Mount persons, I think that Tuchel will look at whoever we're playing, whether it's Man United, Juventus, Man City, whoever, and pick a lineup based on what is going to cater to the needs to break that team down. I feel like if we play a team that required him to take Hudson-Odoi out, Hudson-Odoi would unfortunately be out. Do I think he should? No. I mean, he's on incredible form, and he's an amazing player, and I'm glad he didn't leave, and I'm glad he's not taking the call up to train. But I believe that anytime anything like that happens, I think that the lineup and the overall good of the team will be put above a player's form, personally.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. And again, I look at it from a purely jealous point of view as a Manchester United fan. I am jealous that you have so many players that you can pick, and they're all performing and they're all doing well. And it's a hard debate to have. And I think the Lukaku one, as it was already been mentioned, is tough because your improvement has coincided with him being out, but that isn't necessarily because, like, sometimes, like, what is it? Correlation doesn't equal causation. A little bit of education over here, David. I'm not Hogwarts level like you, but a little bit here, like a little bit here. But no, so I look at it like that, and maybe that kind of uptake was on the way anyway. I look at it like this with Tuchel, though. Your system has been your system, and whoever he rotates in at centre back, they all play well. Generally, whoever plays in midfield, like, every now and then a player has a bit of a bad game. I know Neguez really hasn't done too much. He's almost the exception that proves the rule that anyone can just fit into this system and do well. You have to still be a good level footballer and perform. But yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how that gets rotated. But I think that's why, again, you're one of my favourites to win the league and maybe even to retain your Champions League. Because even when I look at City and when I look at Liverpool, quite a few of the players they would rotate in are not really delivering the goods. There's problems and concerns about those individuals. You know, you look at City, barely anybody scoring the goals. At the elite end of the spectrum, to be, 6 games out of the last, I think, 13 with no goals being scored isn't good enough form-wise. You guys are just ticking all them boxes right now. It's scary. Eric here with the super chat says, you guys should stop it. Lukaku comes straight into the team if fit. Kaya and Pulisic were passive. Mount starts, no doubt. Just stop. No debate here is what Eric has got to say. And that's cool. Someone says sus fake United fan. Oh yeah, whenever I praise another team, I'm called a fake United fan. It is what it is. It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Do you know the maddest bit? And then do you know my videos that get the worst kind of traction for likes to dislikes are always the ones where I'm celebrating Man United doing well. So whatever I do, people are unhappy. So I'll just be me. Did anybody see the Barca Benfica miss of the season? I also remember Chelsea fans, Anthony Taylor is the ref for Sunday.
We're losing.
On that, I've seen that all day from some of I follow a lot of the big Chelsea accounts. I'm friendly with a few of them.
This guy.
You are not actually scared of a referee, are you?
I am.
Look at his stats.
It's
the amount of red cards in previous games.
It's a joke. Come on, it's a joke. It's not serious. I am actually worried about United. I am actually worried about United.
Yeah, are any of you worried about playing United, really? On a real?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think that the bounce back for you lot came at the worst time for us. Like, it's like a clash of heads right now. You guys,
I wanted us to be the ones that got Ollie sacked, and then you had your bounce back against Arsenal. That's what I wanted, but then
Charity FC, man.
Watford just took it too far.
It's always Chelsea that has to face these teams now.
The thing is, so badly, you went to the head teacher, and
the thing is, every player at United is playing for their future now because a new manager is going to come in and the new manager is going to want changes and so on. And so every player that has been, we've heard stories about players turning up late for training and all that sort of stuff. Those players are now on the back foot. They've not got their yes man to sit there and be nice to them and so on. They're all playing for their future. And that's, I remember last season we went into an Arsenal, we went to play Arsenal and Arsenal were in horrific form. And I knew going into that game at the Emirates that we were going to lose that game. And we did. We were about the only team who went and lost there in 10 games or something. And it was, and I have that feeling about this weekend on Sunday with that game coming up. I have that same sort of feeling where I could just see us being the team that loses to Man United, the only one that will lose to them.
I mean, I think that world-class left-back, center-back combo of Shaw Maguire is not ready. I think that they'll be the ones to sell you out if it happens.
It's not ready.
It's
not there. Isn't Shaw injured? And Maguire's suspended. Maguire's suspended, definitely. Like, I know that. So
yeah, I get why there's an air of what's made me laugh in the last few days, and the reason it's relevant for Chelsea and Arsenal is because you both play us in the space of like 5 days. There is an air of like worry because you never quite know how anyone's gonna. If you would have watched our first 50 minutes today, you'd have gone no worries. How we performed in the second half of that second half, we were a much better team. But you lot are just too good. I think the Arsenal game is where I will feel a little bit more confident, unless you guys batter us. Where my mind might change is if Thursday we do the deal for the manager, and it's a manager that, again, everyone's going to have a different view on Poch, or if it's Ten Hag or whoever it may be. But I'm happy with any of them because there is nobody out there that I look at that's available that ticks every box that I want anyway. There's something missing with all of them, whether it's having been in a top league before, managed a juggernaut before, been in the Prem before. There's always going to be something kind of missing. The best 3 managers in the world are already our biggest rivals in the Premier League. So we can't get any of them.
One of the best 3, which one would it be? If you could pluck any manager out of a team, who would it be? And go ahead and say it. It's okay.
It's mad. I would still probably pick Pep. I would still probably pick Pep because I still think Pep is. No, I probably would.
I thought you were going to say Klopp. Personally.
No, do you know what? I'd like Klopp. I would just probably pick Pep. Like he's been my favorite for a while. Although I think Tuchel right now on form is amazing, but I'm not going to disrespect what Pep has done over the past sort of 15 years of football. I'd still pick him. But I'll be honest with you. I'd be happy with any one of the 3. Do you know what I mean? Beggars can't be choosers. But yeah, I would.
Terry, you wish.
Listen, but be honest with you. If we end up with Ten Hag or Poch, I'm really happy with attainable managers who actually are available in the market. There aren't many better. Now, there's always these names that get thrown out of these up and coming guys at this level and that level. And I'm like, but they're all up and coming. Like, how many have managed big clubs or done well in the Champions League so far? There aren't that many people out there. When you actually start to break it down, who you think could manage the Beatlemania element of Man United, that's why I wanted Zidane number 1, because I think he's the closest that you could get to it. He's won the big trophies, managed Real Madrid. Everybody else, for me, there's a big gaping hole of something they haven't quite achieved or done yet that makes them a bit of a gamble. So, but when they're all like that, you just got to relax because there's nothing we can do about it. Do you understand where I'm coming from? I don't think there is anyone that's like perfect.
I'm really worried about Chilwell. It looked bad, and that's going to be a big blow for our team. Again, we have depth, but I mean,
Marcus Alonso is a step. He's a step down.
And do you know what? And maybe just he's just starting to purr a little bit. Is Sancho just a little bit? He's just starting to like a few little good take-ons. His goal was very good today. But no, listen, I'll be honest with you. I give Man United a 5% chance. I mean, it's at Stamford Bridge as well. So our record there's trash. It's just I'm not looking forward to it at all.
To be fair, the points we've lost are at home so far this season against Man City and against Burnley away. I think apart from the draw at Liverpool, we've won every other game. And so where we are conceding goals and where we have dropped points is at home.
Well, what I was going to say is, let's see how Chelsea do this weekend, because this now, like, can we beat the moment? Chelsea do this all the time when we have good runs, and it comes to a game like this and we lose. So can Chelsea finally? This would tell me a lot about our team if we could beat Man United on the weekend convincingly. Can we be more consistent against the bigger teams? Can we go over this hurdle of playing for the moment and not playing for the actual, you know what I'm saying, the league, whatever? So this whole Man United frenzy might get into their heads. So I want to make sure they win the game, get through it, score as much goals as you can, be efficient, and move on.
I take 1-0. I mean, I know it's always nice to score goals, but when you're top of the league, you take 1-0, don't you?
Do you know what it is? Like, it's I often don't say this about my club. I want to win, of course I do. I want a positive result, but it's almost again, it's an element of me where it's a bit of a free hit because it's not the new manager yet as well. There's almost this element of like, I want a positive result. I'll be upset if we lose. But at the same time, it's just we're in this kind of like limbo period at the minute where everything's up in the air. What could help, though, is if we do announce the manager. You mentioned there about players like working harder. It's one of those things where the new manager could be in the stands. And I think that kind of thing always helps. I remember, you guys, there was an up that you started, you guys didn't quite have that, did you? I swear Tuchel was in for that first game after he was appointed against.
He flew in and took
against Wolves, wasn't it? He was yeah.
When he flew in practice, it was crazy. He took a training session, flew in at night, took a training session, then went into the game the next day.
Yeah, that's what I remember being right. Yeah, he just did it, and he goes, "You guys ain't look back." So I am hoping and I'm praying for something very, very similar. And of course, on the terrace, ladies and gentlemen, we will preview that game later on in the week. I just want to take a call here from Fator, big Chelsea fan. If you know, how's it going, mate?
Yeah, good man, good. I just came back from the game, man. But yeah, everything you said. He said everything though. I'm kind of echo what kind of all you said, and I feel like that bench here will kind of hamper us a little bit, but we got that squad definitely. But I'm very surprised on how we played in that second half, because I thought that was the different Chelsea side that that will play in Turin a couple of weeks back. I think the difference is, I think in the second half we somehow managed to find a way to break the Juventus low block team, and Tuchel tactically got a spot in tonight, and I think that plus 3 goals, the plus 3 goals that we've had in this tie, I think it's just an insurance policy that we secured that top of the group spot. But yeah, man, all in all, we're good right now. We're good.
How do you think Ziyech played, man? Do you think Ziyech played well?
In some way, yeah, but sometimes you can get annoyed with this. Some of his final part, like a basic pass, I would say. That one time I thought, like, why would you do that, man? Like, sometimes he can be annoying. Sometimes, like, okay, but tonight it's just okay performance. But I would like to see him more on a consistent basis. That's because some of you lot are really annoying about Ziyech, because I think he can play really well, come off the bench, but when he starts from the minute 0 until like 90th minute, it can be suspect at times. But yeah, man, pretty much like you said about Ziyech, pretty spot on so far.
There we go, gentlemen, and everyone who's tuned in. A massive thank you. Is the phrase title collapse? It isn't title collapse. I will give you the clue. And Maria Williams, your guess wasn't right either, but thank you very much for your guess. You said get into the final. I will give you the next clue. The next clue is the word Myrtle. Is it Myrtle? That's the name. That's the clue.
What?
The clue.
This is some old stuff, man. This is some throwbacks.
Is this comic stuff? It's
just a clue. It's a clue. Most of the clues are not like direct clues. It isn't like going to be like something easy. Like, I'm not going to say he was a scout striker for Man United and it was his nickname. And everyone goes, oh, it's Wazza. They're a little bit kind of riddly. That's the point.
So
you know what I mean?
It's not a clue.
Yeah.
It is a clue. It's a clue. You just got to join the dots together. The last one we did, someone eventually got there. We did the clues, but they get there in the end. But so you guys, if you're listening, guys can Myrtle, as in like the guy who's currently, I probably said his name wrong. You know, the guy that's currently in charge of Man United's transfers, John.
What, Murta?
Sorry, Murta. Yeah, Murta or Myrtle. That's the name. Maybe I've got to get that right. Murta is the clue. The name is Murta, like that. Yeah, that's the one. Terrible clue, but that's it. Someone says spell it. You're asking a dyslexic to spell it on the air. I'll spell it for you. I will spell it for you because I know who I'm talking about here. I'll spell you the name.
Someone said Skirtle in the chat.
No, I didn't say Skirtle. It's my accent as well. Let me hang on a minute. No, I found the wrong thing here, right? By the way, that Jacob guy is just broken the internet anyway with that singing in your dialect thing, which is crazy. Have you guys seen that at all?
No.
On Twitter.
Since Monday, isn't it? Since Monday.
Yeah, he's been doing good. Yeah, the name is spelled. Let me tell you, the name is spelled Murtaugh.
What?
On your like I've
That's
been
David's area of expertise.
I'm trying to figure out what this clue
No,
is.
legit, that was some.
I still don't know. I'm so confused, honestly.
Terry's got a pinboard up in the back behind the camera. He's lined up like a case, man.
I've got to sneak this video one day and find the letter.
What were the previous clues before this one?
The previous clues are connection to Arsenal.
Oh, what?
Rivals hate it. If it happens to your club, you love it. Liverpool and Tottenham are famous. You don't guess out loud.
Relax.
Liverpool and Tottenham have had famous examples of this. There's a connection to the Manchester derby, and the next clue is Myrtle or Murta or whatever, however you say it. But yeah, that's the name.
I'll throw my hat in.
And I've posted it the name in the comment section. Stat Merchant, no, it isn't Stat Merchant. Scoring against your old club, no, it isn't scoring against your own club.
Someone says extremely obvious in the chat.
Maybe
It's surely obvious. To
Maybe.
guess and get your PS5, bro.
Pay the money.
Catch me on
Pay the
FIFA
money.
20.
If it's obvious, then put it in. Someone actually asked me the other day. You said you should have put like a limit in it. It should have been like super chats like over 5 or over 10 because they're like someone could win it for like 70p, and I'm like that's true. To be fair, maybe I should have done. But it's more about rewarding people. So I say to people, some people like super chat and they don't guess on the end. I'm like that was kind of the idea. But there we go. Listen, we're back tomorrow. More content for you. Well done to Chelsea. Well done to Manchester United tonight as well. We're back tomorrow. Hopefully, there will definitely be some Man United news tomorrow. We'll be live after the games as well. Straight Facts will be here as well. Until then, everyone, take care. Goodbye. God bless. Greatest comeback in the history of football. Ooh, maybe. Take care. Goodbye. And I'll see you all.